Anyone that's watched this channel for any length of time knows that I am a Mac user and I absolutely hate Windows. It is the worst software on the face of the earth. But I had been using a Windows computer for portable ham radio. Not anymore. I done went and got me a 13-inch MacBook Air for portable ham radio, and I am going to tell you all about it this time on Ham Radio Tube. So anybody that knows anything about Apple knows that they are not the cheapest computers on the market. My M1 MacBook Pro that I use for editing at home cost me about $2,300. This one only costs $700, which yes is a bit of an investment for portable ham radio, but to me it's worth it. It is high quality, they last forever. This is all metal, there's no plastic garbage on this. It's fantastic. Now this is just the base grade model. It's got 8 gigs of RAM and I think a 256 gig hard drive, which is more than I will ever need for ham radio. On the left side, we have 2 USB-C ports. These are for connecting all your devices, but that is also how you charge this. So with my old Windows computer, the great thing about that was that it had 12-volt charging, which is great. I could just connect it to my battery. But now I can just connect this to my battery box via USB-C if I need to. But the battery lasts so darn long on this thing, that is few and far between. I've had this for I think 2 weeks and I've only charged the battery once for what that's worth. As a ham radio operator, sometimes in the Mac world, we can feel left out. Well, there is everything on this computer that I will ever need for ham radio, as well as a couple other programs that I might want to use out in the field. Another reason I bought this, I travel a lot. I don't want to take my $2,300 MacBook Pro all over the place, going to Dayton and Huntsville and Hamcation and Field Day and all that stuff. It's just too expensive. So something like this is easier, it's less money, and I can still do a lot of the things that I do with my MacBook Pro on this. So let's dive in. I bought a couple accessories. I'm switching over everything to USB-C, but some of our cables still have the old USB-A. So I bought a couple of these. These are a USB-A female to USB-C. I bought a whole bunch of these USB-A to USB-C adapters, and I was kind of worried if they'd both fit at the same time, but in fact, they do. So that is perfect. But I'll really only need one of these at a time, so I could use one of these for charging and one of these for digital modes like FT8 and all that stuff. And the reason I bought so many of these stupid adapters is because 1 is none and 10 are hopefully at least 3. So I've got these little zipper pouches here, and I've got a couple in here. I've got another one of these on the data cable for my 705. I've got one of these on the data cable for my G90. I've got another one of these for my Yaesu 818. So you gotta have adapters. Among the various cables that I keep inside my battery box, I've got a couple cables, but this one I primarily use. This is a USB-C to Lightning, but this little guy pops off, so I can have USB-C to USB-C. So now all I have to do is plug the USB-C into my battery box, and then also plug that into the laptop, and now I'm charging. And you can see we're pulling about 28.5 watts charging the battery over USB-C. And the cool thing about this is one less cable that I need to bring out in the field. With my Windows laptop, I always had to make sure I had that little 12-volt cable so I could plug it in here and charge it if need be. Not anymore. I've always got USB cables with me. And I also went ahead and picked up me another Apple Magic Mouse. I absolutely love these mice. All touch, you can swipe up and down and left and right, and multi-touch functionality of these things. That is my go-to combination. All right, so check this out. Literally everything you could ever possibly want for ham radio is available on a Mac, and I'm gonna show you what I got. So first and foremost, this one right here called Rumlog NG is an amazing logging software. It is free. This is the software that I use at home as my main logging software, but I've got it on here too. Now, there is a way to sync all your contacts over iCloud. I don't prefer to do it that way, so I just airdropped the file to myself, and I'm just gonna import this ADIF, hit import, and it's importing all of my QSOs right now. And now we hit finished, and there's all 24,732 of my QSOs. If I want, I can also have rig control. If I want to use this instead of another logging software, I can hook up my 7300, which is my main portable logging computer, have it have rig control so it'll follow the frequency and everything. There's a spotting window here where you just double click it. It'll automatically change the frequency of the radio, put the call sign in there. You can see this map. If I click on that, we get this cool map that shows where people are in relation to you. It's freaking awesome. Moving on down the list, here we have Chirp Next, an awesome programming software for your radios. So let's say you got a radio out in the field you need to program, go ahead and plug it in. Here is a new radio that TID Radio just sent me. This is the TDH3. Plug that in, turn it on, and we can go up to radio, download from radio, make sure everything's right, hit OK. Now it is reading from the radio. Gonna get all the frequencies that are on there, and then we can go ahead and make any edits we need to, then go back, upload it to the radio, do whatever we need to do, and done. You're programming your radio out in the field with a Mac, done and done. I love it, I love it. Now what about digital modes, you might be asking? Well, you can do that too. Here is a G90 with a DigiRig, and all we have to do here is go and open up FL Rig. That is what allows the DigiRig to talk to WSJTX, and as you can see, we are rocking and rolling. And if you like Grid Tracker for tracking all of your grids, we have that too. Isn't that awesome? Now notice I have all my grids in here. So what I did is I went over to Rumlog, copied all of my FT8 and my FT4 contacts from my main computer, airdropped them here, and all you have to do is drag that ADIF file into here and it will populate all of your fields. So I have all the same information all on both of my computers, and I love it. It is that frickin' easy. Now, because this is for portable ham radio, we wouldn't be complete without Hammers. We've got our wonderful Hammers app here for Parks on the Air. Create an app, or a log rather, call it whatever you want. Make it your Parks on the Air, done and done. Now you can get on the air, whatever you want there, done and done. Put your power and your park number, US 3019, and you are ready to start making contacts just like that. Awesome. And when you're done, go back to logbooks, click the gear, export the ADIF, done and done. And then maybe, let's say I want to make that logbook. Where did it go? There it is. I can just share that with my Mac here in the shack, which is that guy. And now that file is being airdropped to my main computer just like that. And now the piece de resistance. And one of the main reasons I bought this computer, because this is an M1 Mac, any Mac computer, M1 or higher, you can download iPad apps on here from the App Store and use them. So I've got Polo on here, still in beta testing, but I've got it on here. New portable logging software. Check this out. Downloading the new version here, we can make a new operation. Let's go ahead and tell it where we are. Hit OK. Add our spots. Let's go to Parks on the Air. It already knows where what parks are near me, just based off of location, so we can add Huntsville State Park there. We can go ahead and put in a frequency there. Let's say we're on 14,300. Put that in there. We can spot ourselves from here. Everything is great. Let's say KG5AHJ, my good friend Frank, who broke my laptop, my crap top. We'll pick on him, and there we are. We can export our logs, same as we did with Hammers, and I can just airdrop this right to myself again, just like that. If you got a twofer, you're golden. Let's say we're at a twofer. We can add, let's get rid of this one. We can add both of these parks. And now we're at a twofer, 10509 and 4417. We've got a map. That's not where Frank is, but that's where it thinks Frank is. So just really, really cool. This is an awesome program for portable ham radio. But also because I travel, I don't want to bring my $2,300 MacBook Pro with me everywhere I go. Huntsville, Dayton, Hamcation, everywhere else in between. I can still use this for editing. I use DaVinci Resolve Studio. Here it is, we can open this up. Even this only has 8 gigs of RAM. Look how fast I can still scrub through here. Or maybe I want to do a little bit of tracking. Let's embiggen this. We'll go into the Fusion page here. Let's get this clip. We can go into the Fusion page. Let's zoom in here a little bit. And then I'll add a tracker, just like that. We can drag this right over. Let's say I want to hit that 500. Let's zoom in a little bit. And Fusion is very taxing on the GPU. So I'm focusing on that. I want to track that. We can just track that real quick. Done and done. Jittered a little because he put his hand in front of there. So that's now tracked. Then we can put a Text Plus node in here. Get rid of that merge node. We don't need him. And let's say this is KI5PRK. We can drag that onto there. Then we need to turn the operation on. Match move. Then we can move this guy around if I could see it. Click on that. And let's say we want to track him right there, just so we can kind of have his call sign go along as he's walking. And look at that. Easy peasy. Fusion with a MacBook with only 8 gigs of RAM, and it is tracking. How cool is that? So now I never have to touch another Windows computer for portable ham radio ever again. And if you're a Mac user, hopefully this helped you get some inspiration to ditch that Windows garbage computer and start using your Mac for all your ham radio needs. Guys, my name is Mike K at MRD. Thanks so much for watching Ham Radio Tube 73.